Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into the story of a truly powerful warrior goddess, Katyayani. And believe it or not, her story all begins with one single number. That's it, 6. Now, this number is the key to our whole story. It points us to the 6th day of the incredible Navratri festival, a day that's dedicated to a really unique and formidable divine energy. But we're not just talking about another day on the calendar.
No, this day is celebrated as the day courage itself actually took form. It's a day that honors not just having faith, but having the strength to act on that faith. And that brings us right to the goddess at the very heart of it all.
So, let's meet her, Maa Katyayani. She is revered as one of the fiercest forms of the goddess Durga, and her very essence, who she is wrapped up in these 3 powerful ideas: courage, righteousness, and of course, divine justice.
So, what's in a name? Where did Katyayani come from? Well, it's actually a beautiful story of devotion. A great sage, Katyayani, undertook some seriously intense spiritual practices, all because he wished for the divine goddess to be born as his daughter. His wish was granted, and so she took his name, becoming Katyayani. But her birth wasn't just a personal blessing for him, it was the answer to a cosmic crisis.
Okay, so let's get into her origin story, because to really understand her power, you first have to understand the absolute chaos she was born to conquer.
I want you to just imagine a universe completely thrown into disarray. We're talking about the fundamental balance of good and evil, of order and disorder, just shattered.
And right at the center of all this turmoil was the demon Mahishasura. I mean, his power had grown so immense that he wasn't just a threat to the heavens or the earth, he was threatening the very fabric of existence itself. Even the gods, well, they were powerless against him.
You know, when the old order fails, when everything you rely on is on the brink of collapse, something new is required. A totally new kind of power had to rise up to meet this unprecedented threat.
So let's look at how this crisis led to her incredible form. Because the solution wasn't just another god or some new weapon. It was a completely new manifestation of divine energy.
And this right here is the crucial point. The gods, we're talking Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all of them, they pooled their divine energies together. And from this cosmic convergence, this explosion of power, a single, radiant warrior form emerged, Katyayani. She was created for one purpose, to protect truth and destroy evil.
And every single part of her image tells a story. She rides a lion, which just screams absolute fearlessness and command, right? In one hand, she's got a sword, representing that swift divine justice. But then in another hand, she holds a lotus flower, a symbol of grace and purity, even in the middle of a battle. And her other 2 hands, they're raised in gestures of blessing and protection for her followers. She's both the fierce warrior and the benevolent protector, all in one.
I mean, the story is epic, no doubt. But like all great myths, it's pointing to a much deeper truth. So what does Katyayani really represent for us today, beyond that ancient battlefield?
This is where her ancient story becomes a really personal call to action for every one of us. It's not just about some mythological demon. It's about the battles we all face, both inside ourselves and out in the world.
Her story is meant to inspire us to find our own inner strength, our own determination. It's all about finding the resolve to stand up against injustice, no matter how big or small it seems, and to act with confidence even when things get really tough.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway. It's this distinction. Faith is the foundation, right? Belief and devotion. But Katyayani represents that next, crucial step, courageous action. It's that moment when your belief gets turned into a real deed. It's not just about praying for justice, it's about becoming an instrument of it.
And this call to action is exactly why her legacy is so powerful and enduring. Her followers don't just remember her past victory, they seek out her energy to help them with their challenges today.
People pray to her for some very specific blessings that really mirror her own attributes. They ask for her help in removing obstacles from their path, for the courage to go after success, and for protection from all kinds of negative forces. And here's a really interesting one. She is also prayed to by people who are seeking a happy marriage, asking for a partner who embodies that same strength and righteousness.
And finally, there's a color associated with her day, yellow. And this isn't just a random choice. Yellow symbolizes the very energy she brings to the table. optimism when things look dark, the energy you need to actually do something, and the positivity required to overcome any challenge.
So, we end with this. The story of Katyayani is really a reminder that the energy for change, for justice, for courage, it lies within all of us. The myth poses this timeless question, and not just to the gods of old, but to each one of us today. When injustice appears in your world, in your life, how do you answer that call for courage?